Hola, bonjour, hello. We are going to get started with today's lesson. I am going to share the screen with you. Let's take a look first at some math vocabulary terms just to make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to math vocabulary. So let's talk division today. So this is the English word for division, okay? Division, which is very similar if we're talking about Spanish, but this is the division sign and the equal sign. The equal sign we talked about last time when we talked about multiplication. There are three really important words to know when we're talking about division in English. So the dividend is this number right here. That's the kind of the larger number that we are going to divide into groups. And the divisor is the number of groups that we're going to divide the items into, whatever it is that we're dividing. So say that word dividend. Great. And say that word divisor. Awesome. So the answer in a division problem is called the quotient. And I know that's a very odd looking English word. It uses the QU at the beginning, and the sh sound is created by the TI, but this is the word quotient. Say that word quotient. Awesome. So if we had the dividend of 16, and that's divided by the divisor of 8, the quotient would be 2. Think in your head, what if we had the dividend of 4 and the divisor of 2? That would be 4 divided by 2. What would the quotient be? Awesome. Yeah, that would be 2. All right, let's move on. We are going to read Birds of Prey by Fran Mason. I'm going to read the introduction, and then we're going to stop and we're going to talk about something. So your job is to follow along. Introduction. From far away, a large bird spots a mouse. In a powerful burst of speed, it dashes down and grabs the rodent with its sharp claws. Then the bird lands and uses its beak to tear apart its food. Birds of prey, also called raptors, are impressive predators. They have 3 important features that allow them to hunt and eat their prey. We know both the word predators and prey from our vocabulary words. Predators are animals that hunt other animals, and prey are the animals that get hunted. Their strong feet have talons that they use to grab prey. And we talked yesterday about how the talons are these sharp claws on their feet. Birds of prey also have excellent eyesight that helps them spot prey from far away. So birds of prey have 3 really important features. They have good eyesight, they have a curved beak, and they have sharp talons. And those are all important for their survival so that they can hunt. Birds of prey live all over the world. They can survive in many different habitats, from prairies to deserts. A few kinds of birds of prey even live in cities. Scientists separate birds of prey into 2 groups. One group is nocturnal. I'm not sure what nocturnal means, so I'm going to keep reading to see if I can figure it out. Active at night. Oh, well, that is super helpful. It tells me right there that nocturnal means that they're active at night. Okay. The other group is diurnal. Active during the day. I'm not sure what diurnal means. Can you figure that out? What does diurnal mean? I'll read that sentence one more time. The other group is diurnal. Active during the day. Yep, exactly. You're right. Diurnal means that they're active during the day. So nocturnal, they're active at night. Diurnal, they're active during the day. Okay, so while I was reading this and then I came to this page, I started thinking about owls, and I had the question, what do owls eat? So sometimes while we're reading, and it's very important for good readers to be doing this, is a question will pop into our head about what it is that we're reading. So I put my question right here. It says above it, what question did you have while you read today? And the question I had as I was reading is, what do owls eat? We were talking about birds of prey hunting, and we were just starting to talk about owls. I saw the picture of the owl, and I thought, I wonder what it is that owls eat. I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to find out if the question was answered, and if it was, what the answer was. So that's one thing that I'm keeping in the back of my mind. Okay, let's read about owls. Owls are nocturnal birds of prey. They hunt at night and sleep during the day. Owls have short tails, rounded wings, and sharp talons. Their large heads have flat faces, big eyes, and curved beaks. Owls don't have eyeballs. Their eyes are more like tubes held in place by bones. This means they can't really move their eyes. To follow prey, they have to turn their heads. Owls can even turn their heads backward and see behind them. Owls hunt by watching and waiting for the right moment to pounce on their prey. When it's totally dark, owls rely on their sensitive hearing instead of their sense of sight. Unlike other birds, owls have special feathers. As they fly, their feathers don't make any sound. Their silent flight allows them to sneak up on their prey as well as hear its movements. When they are ready, owls quickly drop down and use their talons to catch their prey by surprise. Then they crush their prey with their beaks. Most owls eat small birds, mice, lizards, or insects. Underneath this picture says the great horned owl is the most common owl in the Americas. And maybe you noticed this, I did. I got the answer to my question. That last sentence on page 7 says, most owls eat small birds, mice, lizards, or insects. So I could go back here and I could write some of those things that they eat. They eat small birds, mice, insects, and lizards. Awesome. So I just answered the question that was in my mind as I was reading. That's going to help me be a better reader because I'm constantly thinking about new things and finding the answers for them. All right, so here's a chart about some awesome owls. And you can see that this chart has a barn owl in it, a pygmy owl, a great gray owl, and a great horned owl. And it talks about where each of them lives, where their home is, what their length is, and what some of their unusual traits are. I'm going to let you take a second and look through that. And if you want to, you can pause the video so that you can take more time to look at those. Falcons. Before I start reading falcons, we're going to do one more thing while we read this book, which is super important. We are going to think about comparing and contrasting, okay? And when we compare and contrast, we're thinking about how two things are alike and how they're different. We compare them, find out how they're alike, and we contrast them. We think about how they're different. While we're reading the next chapter on falcons, I want us to be thinking about how are owls similar and different to falcons. Okay, so for anything that's similar, we're going to put it in this space. And then for things that are different, we'll put it here in just the owl space, or here, just the falcon space. So let's read about falcons and then we'll come back to this. Falcons. Except for owls, all birds of prey are diurnal. They are active during the day. Falcons are one example. Boom! Right there, we automatically have something that's different between owls and falcons. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in. Owls, we know, are nocturnal. I'm going to use this right there so that we know that's one thing. I'm going to use that dash there. And then falcons, we just said, are diurnal. Owls are active at night. Falcons are active during the day. While I'm here, I also know that both of these animals are birds of prey. Both of these are birds that are predators. We read that in the introduction. All right, we'll keep reading. These medium-sized birds of prey have long, pointed wings. Unlike owls, which hunt by silently surprising their prey, falcons hunt using speed. I just read about 2 ways that owls and falcons are different. Take a second and see if you can figure that out. Right. So we read that owls hunt by surprising and falcons hunt by speed. I also read that falcons have pointed wings, and we read about how owls in the last chapter have rounded wings. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that to our chart as well. I'm just going to make a list here. So we said that owls have rounded wings, and we also said that owls hunt by surprise. Awesome. So then what we're going to do is, we'll just leave it like that. We're going to put how the falcon is different from the owl over here. So we just read that falcons have sharp wing or pointed wings, excuse me, instead of rounded wings. And we also read that they hunt by speed. Something we could add though is that we know that both of them have wings. Let's keep reading. Their amazing eyesight allows them to spot prey from far away. Their pointed wings help them fly fast and turn quickly as they chase their prey. Falcons attack by diving or stooping headfirst after their prey. Then they strike it hard, snatch it with their talons, and kill it with their sharp beaks. All right, so here are some examples of other falcons. I'll let you go ahead and do the same thing. I'll let you take a moment and look through and read about the Madagascar kestrel, which is a type of falcon, the laughing falcon, and the peregrine falcon. Awesome. If you want more time, you can go ahead and pause. I'm going to go back to our Venn diagram and notice how we have multiple examples of how owls and falcons are different. And we also have a couple of different examples of how they are the same. And we were very careful about making sure that we put what's similar in the middle here where both of the circles meet, and then what's only true about owls over on the owls side, and what's only true about falcons on the falcon side. Great. Let's keep reading. Eagles, hawks, and kites. Eagles, hawks, and kites range in size from small to large. They are grouped together because of their strongly hooked beaks. So when I read the word hooked, I envision a fishing hook that looks like this. That helps me visualize what those beaks on those birds look like. They're curved. These birds of prey usually kill their prey by squeezing it and stabbing it with their talons. That's different from what we just read about owls and falcons, where we learned that they kill their prey by using their beaks. So there's a difference there. Eagles are some of the largest birds of prey. Their eyes are so big that they can take up half of an eagle's head. After catching prey with their massive talons, they usually take it somewhere to tear into it with their enormous beaks. Eagles have the largest beaks of all birds of prey. Eagle-wise, or word-wise, excuse me. Eagle vision and hawkeye are two phrases that mean a person has very good eyesight. So if someone says you have eagle vision, they're saying you have good eyesight. The wingspan of a bald eagle can measure almost 2 meters or 6 feet. That's the height of a tall man. Hawks have long tails and short, rounded wings. Their excellent vision, sharp beaks, and strong talons make them skilled hunters. Some hawks can easily move through branches to hunt in dense brush. Others prefer to soar high in the sky, looking for prey. Many hawks perch in a tree or on a pole to wait for their prey. Kites are medium to large in size. These lightweight birds have small heads, short beaks, and long, narrow wings. Many kites have forked tails. They spend most of their lives in warm climates. While they mostly eat insects, some kites are scavengers, animals that eat animals that are already dead. A group of black kite soars in circles while hunting for prey. Here's another table that talks about eagles, hawks, and kites. So there's an example of an eagle, a martial eagle, an example of a hawk, a Harris's hawk, and a snail kite, an example of a kite. You can take a moment to look over that. All right. If you want to pause, go ahead and pause now. I'm going to move to the next page. Vultures. Like kites, vultures are scavengers. These birds rarely hunt. Most vultures have good eyesight and some have strong talons. Vultures share meals with each other. Larger vultures and those with stronger beaks eat first. Smaller birds must wait to eat scraps left behind. Vultures have bare heads so that blood will not mat their feathers while they eat. Most vultures also have a crop, a large pouch used to store food. They can go long periods of time without eating. So there's an example of a turkey vulture and a Cape Griffin vulture. You can take a look at that. If you want to take a little bit more time, you can pause now. All right, we'll move on. Conclusion. Owls, falcons, hawks, eagles, kites, and vultures are birds of prey that live around the world. They share three important features: talons, a sharp beak, and excellent eyesight. Turn your eyes toward the sky to spot one of these fierce predators at work hunting prey. The picture is right here of an eagle, and it says, for the caption, a bald eagle can catch a fish right out of the water without getting its feathers wet. And our last page is our glossary. All right, so we have finished both of our jobs. We were able to find an answer to my question about what owls eat, and we were able to compare and contrast owls and falcons. Great work.